Today's target for the 2 minutes of hate on Twitter has been Laurence Fox again. He tweeted an image of the Progress Pride flag rearranged as a swastika because presumably he thinks that elements of the LGBTQ community tend towards Nazism. And in response to this, a significant number of LGBTQ activists on Twitter, entirely bereft of self-awareness, proceeded to behave even more like Nazis, having Fox temporarily suspended from Twitter, forced to remove the offending tweet, smearing him with enormous amounts of personal abuse and defamatory statements about his character. This week marks the end of Gay Pride Month, and as we all know, the word pride is a euphemism for conceitedness. It's been a month of rainbow flags sprawled all over public buildings, strung up between lampposts everywhere, a month of every cultural institution fixating on LGBTQ issues and awareness. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's odd, given that in reality, no one cares who anybody else is having intimate relations with, unless it involves children or animals, in which case they need to be locked up. Heteronormative society is entirely indifferent to the choices of the LGBTQ community. We're all just trying to get to work, pay our bills, and look after our families. Really, nobody cares who you're jumping into bed with. But that's not good enough for some LGBTQ activists, is it? There's this constant need for attention, this constant need to claim victimhood, and it stems from these people not being satisfied with their outsider status. There's a significant strand of LGBTQ activism that desperately wants heterosexuality to be an anomaly, that wants to convince the world that no one is really straight, that no one is entirely heterosexual. The intention for these people is that if they put their flag everywhere, if they can get the BBC and Channel 4 to transmit their message into our homes on a daily basis, if they can propagate the idea that trans women are no different to biological women and dictate that trans women get to compete in women's professional sport and use women's public toilets, if they bludgeon society with their ideology for long enough, then LGBTQ becomes the predominant culture and they get to feel normal, which is what they so desperately want. Unfortunately, their ideology is inconsistent with what we know from science and history, so the only way they can achieve their objectives is through deeply authoritarian behaviour tending towards Nazism. The message is clear. If you're LGBTQ, do what you want, be who you want to be, no one cares. But if you don't want your flag arranged to look like a swastika, then perhaps you need to ask significant sections of your communities to start behaving a little bit less like Nazis.